So my guy Jonathan did a video over the renting a storage unit for your shop space, if you will, and was talking about there's a lot of benefits to it, and there is a lot of benefits, but there's a lot more benefits if you can build a place at your house. I'm not a big believer in renting anything if I don't have to. When I was renting space over here at the storage facility, I was paying a pretty good. I had a 10 by 30, and I was paying about $250 a month, and then they 250 or 300, and then they jumped it up like 500 or 600, and that's when But when they went up on that rent, that's what that was the I was already wanting a building at my house, but that was the deciding factor. The storage facility, well, number one, you had to go over there to it, even though it was a quarter mile from the house. Number two, there's no big power outlets or nothing there. The lighting in there is terrible, and there's no. You got one plug in, and it's not mine. Always seeing other people that do videos, and Jonathan's a smart dude, but I think if you can, now everybody can't, and let's just face it. Most guys that are in this business, their dream is to have their own building, their own shop, their own workspace. I mean, I don't know of any that don't. That don't want a place to put their equipment, a place to fix stuff out of the weather, a working shop. And a storage facility is going to, there are people that run it out of there, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna pay $500 or $600 a month if I don't have to and never own it. Oh no, that's bad business to me. But in the beginning, I have done it. I rented a storage unit, and it's only like a quarter mile from my house, and I still hated going down there to do anything. If something happened to a mower, I'd fix it at my house, in my garage. I rarely did any work on anything at the storage facility because, I had to bring all the tools down there and all that. It's not, and I was paying 3 times as much for a rented 10 by 30 storage facility with a roll-up door. I was paying almost 3 times as much as a payment, rent every month, as I do on the building that I have. The building that I have, my payment is $220 a month, and I think I owe like $6,000 now. So paying $500 a month, if you do that, yeah. And you're never going to own it. See, this way, I got a lot of options. Well, number one, I got more space for less money. There is going to come a time where the payment will end. Renting a storage locker or storage unit is never going to end. Now, there are circumstances and situations where, like I said, I did it for years. But once I, realize, okay, I'm not going to be doing anything else. This is going to be my career. Then that's when I said, well, I don't want to. And then I was trying everything I could to get out of the storage facility and get out and my garage. Then years went by, and I just kept paying the rent, and I would have equipment and stuff in the storage facility, but most everything that working stuff that I work on and run every day and all, I have it all piled up in my garage, along with all the impacts and all the wrenches, tools, sockets, and all the stuff that y'all see my big building has. And I was all crowded. And there wasn't a time that I was gonna on a rainy day or whatever, I wasn't going over to the storage facility to work on nothing. So at the end of the day, that's exactly what it was for me. It was a storage for storage. You know, it wasn't a working shop, and there's a big difference, especially for a guy like me that prides itself on well, being able to fix stuff and save money. And I'm not going out of business anytime soon. So it's my thinking was, 3 years ago when I built my building, I said, let's build a shop. We'll finance some of it. I only financed like $11,000, I think. The building, as you see it, just the metal structure, $23K, and that's with the roll-up doors and the windows and everything. And then I had to do the concrete, but you don't have to do concrete. You just throw that building up, and then you can add to it as you're working and building. And that's what I've done. I just added to it, just kept adding to it. As far as the stuff on the inside, water, power, and all the stuff that you guys see inside the shop now. I'm not going to do that in another year and a half. I'm going to own it. I mean, I own it now. There ain't nobody going to come take it. We're talking about $6,000. I'll just pay that off, but I got no interest. So, I got it set up to where it's going to, I got 5 years, no interest. Or was it 4 years, no interest, excuse me. So that's the way to go if you can. And if you live in an apartment, I don't know what you would do. I couldn't imagine running this business out of an apartment. And by the mere fact that you are renting an apartment, now you're double renting. You're paying rent on an apartment, which you're never going to own. And then you're paying rent on a store facility, which you're never going to own. That's bad business to me, man. If you can help it. If there's a way not to do that. My mama, she spent her whole life paying rent. Her whole life. She did. The last, I guess, from when she was in her 20s, from the very beginning, when she was in her 20s, all the way until she was about 50, she paid rent. And never could accumulate nothing. Anytime you can get out of that rent game, I think you should. Sometimes it's a no-brainer. Like my building's a no-brainer. That was a no-brainer. So I could spend $500 or $600 a month at the storage facility that I didn't even go to, or I can build a big building at my house, increase the value of my house, and pay less. Of course, you got to be established. You got to have a house. You got to pay for the permitting and all that. You got to, there's a lot of things you got to do, but nothing really that extravagant as far as money goes. It's a no-brainer. So, and then, these storage facilities, they got security and all that, but I got all that at my shop too. I got monitor security, got 24-hour surveillance, all over the place. The biggest thing is I don't have to pay rent on something I'm never going to own. And my building is a working shop where, I got big power. I can run welders and plasma cutters and everything out there. I can put air conditioner in it. You can tweak it and make it really nice. Right, that's a big waste of money, but it's not, because it's the $220 a month is chump change compared to $600 a month. $600 a month for something I'm never going to own and I never did use, other than just to take equipment up there, and I dreaded that every time. It ain't like I could go up to the storage facility at 10 o'clock at night and fix anything or nothing like that. See, in my building, I could start on a project and it could sit there for, it could sit there for a week because I got plenty of space. I don't have to, and I can wait on parts and take things apart and put it back together while I wait on parts and all that. And I got all my tools there. If I put all my tools in the damn, that's about like having a shipping container, really. Shipping container is, I'd rather have a shipping container at my house than a storage facility, location if I got a choice, because the shipping container is, what is it, 8 foot wide by 40 feet. My storage locker was 10 by 30. So I'm just not a big fan of it, man, you know, at my age. And well, I ain't never been a fan of renting. Not ever. But I remember seeing my mama, the whole time I was coming up, my mama rent and be, you know, have to worry about the rent. And the rent was always more expensive than what somebody else would have paid a mortgage on. And we were always moving and all that because the landlord, didn't want to rent anymore, or the landlord would die and the kids would move in and take over and then they'd sell it, you know. Just, all right, y'all, I kick it.